Hi guys, today we're going to talk about lactic acid or lactate and also about the lactate threshold and what that is, what it means, and is lactate really a waste product or not. I'm going to kind of break up our discussion of lactic acid and lactate threshold into three parts. So this is going to be the first part. I'll try and keep it as short as possible. But basically we're going to use the terms lactate and lactic acid synonymously. So, and that's just to save confusion. There is a small difference between the two, but it is minor, so we're going to go ahead and just use those two terms synonymously for the purposes of our discussion. Lactic acid was actually discovered way back in the 18th century, although it wasn't really studied alongside exercise until like the 20th century, but it originally was thought to be a waste product that was had a negative effect on muscular function and a negative effect on the muscles. And so, early 1900s up until probably the 70s, it was thought to exercise below your lactate threshold because you don't want to have that severe muscular fatigue or a poor workout performance. That the research has kind of shown actually over time though that lactate is actually beneficial to the muscles. So although it does give off a hydrogen ion, which does contribute to that burning feeling that when you work out someone says, oh, feel the burn. They're actually talking about the hydrogen ion that comes from lactate that lactic acid releases. But the lactate itself is actually beneficial, not only for the muscles, but for other organs such as the liver and the brain. Okay, it can actually be used as a fuel. Lactate is produced every time the muscle contracts. So anytime you contract your muscle, your body's producing lactate. So literally it's producing lactate constantly. It's just to varying degrees. So obviously if I'm getting up to go get a glass of water, it's going to be a lot less than if I was going to go run a marathon. The lactate production is going to still be there, but it's going to be at a different degree. With high-intensity exercise, and that doesn't just mean marathons, that could be any high-intensity exercise, whether that be weightlifting or anything at a high intensity, lactate is produced faster than it can be removed. So your body's pumping, your muscles are pumping lactate into the blood, and your lungs can't effectively release the lactate or your body can't use the lactate as quickly as it's producing it. So basically you do remove lactate one of two ways. Your body either uses it as fuel, or the second option is that you breathe it out. And that kind of goes into excess post-oxygen consumption, which we'll talk about another time. But once you're producing it faster than you can get rid of it, that's when you start to feel the fatigue, you start to feel the buildup of the hydrogen ion, you start to feel the burn. That is your lactate threshold, okay? It is possible to raise the lactate threshold to a higher level, and that's going to be the topic of the next video, is actually how to train your body to increase the lactate threshold, and also what's happening chemically in your body and metabolically when you hit this lactate threshold. But as far as today in this video is concerned, we are done. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was clear enough. I try and make these as easy as possible for you guys to understand because it can get a little confusing. I totally understand that. And thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys soon with part 2. Alright, thank you guys.